All right, there's a lot that we can talk about when it comes to the Detroit Red Wings, and, I was debating, do I want to make a video about the Jakub Vrana 4-goal night, because that was an absolutely crazy, crazy thing to witness. But I'm gonna be honest, man, I didn't see it live. I was watching Vancouver, Ottawa. Mistakenly so, as well. I probably should have invested time into watching Detroit instead of Vancouver, Ottawa, just considering how terrible Vancouver, Ottawa was. But aside from that, I wanted to get this out of the way first as well. Thank you to those in the previous Red Wings video who commented gargoyles, because that was our comment section keyword. If you want a chance to be featured in the next Red Wings video, then stick around to the end for that. But today we're talking about Moritz Seider again. I know everybody loves talking about Seider, and there's a good amount of you that are going to be like, okay, why are you making another video about this guy? You already spoke about this guy a ton. You made videos about his season and his production and this and that and the #1 prospect ranking amongst Craig Button and all that. What else is there that you can possibly talk about with Moritz Seider? Well, we had ourselves what was a very, very generous set of articles written about Seider and a specific award that he ended up winning that actually isn't an SHL award. It's not really an official thing by that league. It's actually an award by Elite Prospects. Yeah, Elite Prospects, that website that we screenshot in literally every single video we upload because we're always taking their player profiles because I think it's the cleanest and best looking layout for statistics. Yeah, that website is based out of Sweden, and they have themselves an award that they give to the best junior player in the SHL every single year. It's essentially the Calder, but it's awarded by Elite Prospects instead of the actual league. And guess who won this award recently? Yeah, it's Moritz Seider, coming out here in the 2020-2021 season as dubbed by Elite Prospects, the best junior/rookie player in the entire league. As we've noted before, 28 points, 41 games played, a right-handed defenseman who is so good, both defensively and offensively. His two-way game is immaculate, and as a result, Elite Prospects recognized him as the very first winner of the Best Junior EP.com award that is not actually from Sweden. Here are the previous award winners: William Karlsson 2013, Alex Wenberg 2014, Axel Holmstrom, Gustav Forsling, Eric Sinek, Elias Pettersson, Emil Bemstrom, Niels Longfist, and now Moritz Seider. I'll leave a link in the description to the article written by Peter Ekholm on Hockey Sverige, which talks about Moritz Seider and his crazy season in the SHL. There's actually a video, and it's in English, so the majority of people watching this channel can go ahead and watch that video. It's an interview done with a few of the Regla BK coaching staff, and Moritz Seider himself just talking about the season he had, the awards and all that, because obviously, you kind of have to get the interviews with the guy. And just from watching Moritz Seider receive the award and talk about his season, hey, he's a very humble guy. Love what he had to say, not just about the confidence that he has in his own game, but the decision that he took to go over to Sweden and play a year after the German league shut down, and just the respect that this guy has not only towards the game, but to the guys that he plays with too. Awesome. You want to talk about character building right here? Yeah, this is the kind of guy that Yzerman drafted, and he seems like a very, very just cool, humble guy. That will be the first link in the description, but I also have another link that is also on hockeysverige.se. Another article about Moritz Seider, this time is written by Uffe Bodin. It talks about Seider and just how good his SHL year was. Bodin says he is the best junior defender I've ever seen in the SHL. And if you go over the article, by the way, Bodin is a very well-respected Swedish hockey journalist that writes a ton about Swedish hockey and just the stuff they've got going on over there. He's been there for a long time. He's got all the experience covering this league and looking at the guys. And so when you take a look at somebody like this, who is so well-established amongst the Swedish hockey media, and you read his article and you scroll down, and he has a segment that is called Better Than Hedman and Dahlin, you start to really get excited as to what this guy could be. Let's translate this article from Swedish to English and read through some of the quotes that Bodin writes about Seider in comparison to Dahlin and Victor Hedman. Almost 2 years later, Steve Yzerman's choice appears to be a slam dunk. He has shown a kind of game that you're used to seeing from a well-established national team defender on the Regla BK. not a 19-year-old rookie. That is exactly what makes him the best junior defender I have seen in the SHL during my almost 15 years as a hockey journalist. The ability to both be a leading player offensively on the blue line and at the same time be able to keep pace physically with significantly older and more experienced players, or even dominate physically, that is what separates him from the best Swedish rookie defenders who have come up in the SHL. Victor Hedman, Adam Larsson, and especially Rasmus Dahlin made a strong impression when it went out for them, but none of them have been anywhere near as complete as Seider has been this season. Then you should certainly keep in mind that Seider is a final-year junior with 2 seasons of pro hockey in his luggage, while Hedman, Larsson, and Dahlin stepped into the NHL as juniors. But it doesn't take away from what Regla's German has accomplished in 2020-2021. And yeah, before anybody criticizes me in the comments for saying, "Oh, you can't just say he's going to be better than Hedman and Dahlin, those were first and second overall picks. Are you kidding me, Lego? You're hyperbolizing this again." Okay, cool, just calm down, please. Keep your fingertips away from your keyboard there. Yeah, that's the biggest caveat of this entire thing, the fact that Moritz Seider playing this season in the SHL was a lot older when Hedman and Dahlin were playing as junior players in the SHL. Junior, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, it refers to a U20 player, or at least that's how the Europeans define it, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments what a junior player actually means, I'd be very open to that. But when Seider did this, I mean, he's 19 years old. He had already spent a year in North America with the Grand Rapids Griffins. Okay, I get it. Hedman played his last year in the SHL when he was 18. Dahlin did it when he was 17. So obviously it's not the same comparing 19-year-old Seider to the 17 Dahlin and 18 Hedman, but still, Uffe Bodin's point still remains that just because Seider is older does not mean that you can take away from just how good he was. And how good he was good enough to be considered as a better all-round defenseman than Dahlin was, and that Victor Hedman was, back when they were in the SHL as teenagers. So, you know, hey, Red Wings fans, if Seider can go out there and replicate the amount of success that any of these other junior Elite Prospects Awards guys have gotten, then hey, I mean, William Karlsson scored 40 goals in the NHL one year. Now, I do believe that was a very, very big caveat, and he's not really that kind of guy consistently anymore at all, but still, he got it done. Elias Pettersson is Elias Pettersson. We know how good that guy can be. And Nils Longfest is a guy who got almost 20 goals on the year. He got 14 in the regular season and 2 in the postseason for the Luleå Hockey Club this season. And he's only 20 years old. He's turning 21, but he's 20. So if Seider can be at this level, amongst the other players whose names he's being listed beside, I think it ultimately boils down to the same conversation we were having the second Seider was drafted by Detroit. Is this a 6th overall guy? Is this a guy you take over Trevor Zegras? Is this a guy you take over Cole Caulfield or Podkolzin or Broberg? I think the way things are going now, I mean, Hedman was 2nd overall for a reason. Dahlin was 1st overall for a reason. And if Seider can be a guy who plays at a higher standard than these two in any capacity, hey, I think that's a pretty good pick at 6th overall. What about you? Do you think so? Talk to me in the comments what you think about Moritz Seider and just the crazy comparisons that are being made here. Obviously, Uffe Bodin is not guaranteeing anything. Oh, he's going to be better than this or whatever. He's not saying that. But he's just saying that amongst his own 2 eyes, watching these players play in the SHL as junior defenders, Seider has been the best all-round guy. Which is why, probably suiting up as the best defender in Detroit next season, don't at me by the way, I'm so excited to see how exactly this guy's going to perform. It all started last year with the Grand Rapids Griffins coming over to North America and being an absolute monster over there, but now it's taken a step further. In the SHL, making himself known as one of the best that league has ever seen. And we still have to get that award done too, of the Defenseman of the Year. That hasn't been announced at the time of me recording this audio. He's one of the 3 finalists over there too, so we'll see how exactly the voting process is done. If the SHL just gives it to the guys who have more points, because the other 2 guys, spoiler alert, they have more points than Seider had. So talk to me in the comments what you think. If you made it to the end of this video, tell me in the comments Conn Smythe, because Victor Hedman was the recent winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. That's your comment section keyword for a chance to be featured in the next Red Wings video. Hope you enjoyed. This was Josh Rosen 99, and bye.